Hey YouTube, it's SoulPrime13 with another Transformers news video. So I wanted to go over all the recent San Diego Comic-Con reveals, but I wanted to wait till Monday to make sure we got all the news out first. But also a big thing to note, today, July 28th, is Peter Cullen's birthday. He is 84 today, so let's all send him some love. Our original Optimus Prime. Good to see he's still doing well. So first of all, we do have the Hot Wheels crossovers are now up for pre-order at various websites, and they do look really interesting. I am excited to get them. They're a little bit more than the average deluxe. They're like $30, which isn't too bad. That's $5 more, and considering, you know, crossovers always have those, you know, licensing and split profits and all that. That's not too bad of a hike. I have pre-ordered both of these. I am looking forward to both of them. They do look really cool. Come on. So here we have some views of the actual figures that were on display. Here we have Big Convoy. I'm definitely looking forward to this. He does come with his Matrix Buster. He also does have removable tusks. They are apparently 5mm ports. I am hoping that they'll also do a Nemesis well, they will almost certainly do a Nemesis repaint of this. And I hope they include the bloody tusks like they did with the original toy. But yeah, he looks good. Definitely excited. Nice head sculpt there. It does have the Maximal logo on his chest. Let's see. We do have our biggest reveal, the Titan Studio Series Grimlock, which does look very interesting. And they mentioned how his tail telescopes up into the big mace. I'm a little disappointed that they gave him the club hand again instead of like two regular hands, and I haven't seen anything to determine that that's going to be like a removable piece, which is kind of a bummer. I would have liked for him to have two normal hands on the Titan, but it is what it is. And we can see that the recent leader class Optimus can ride on him, which is cool. And I'm assuming all these dark plastic, black plastic bits are the soft rubbery plastic. And then there's a comparison with the Studio Series G1 Grimlock. So we do have some looks at the new Seeker mold, and looks like they were showing off the transformation a little bit. Yeah, overall it does look very nice. It does have an opening cockpit, and I don't understand why. Well, I guess they made his face clear for light piping, but it does look like it's gonna have a very similar transformation. Obviously the legs are gonna be different, seeing as how the tail fins aren't there. It does look like they just fold up onto the back somehow. But those legs are a lot cleaner. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how that all works. Guessing that's the Big Convoy Matrix. Yeah, I am definitely excited for the new Seeker mold. It does look very nice. But yeah, it looks like the arms fold up the same way. You know, the cockpit probably transforms in a very similar manner. But it is a much cleaner final result, so I'm all for that. Because that Earthrise mold was just not Studio Series. Like, I didn't hate the mold like some people do, but I do not think it belongs in Studio Series. Here we have our wind charger, and there's the like magnetic pulse blast effect that will plug into his chest, which is neat. Still just the gray prototypes. Here we do have a look at Nemesis Prime in the Super mode. I am kind of miffed that they are not including the trailer with him. and also I don't think the 3 mini-cons justify the $75 price tag, because it's taking away half of the figure, and then adding like 3 little bots does not make up for like what is essentially like a $30 price difference from like half a figure. I don't know. I'm hoping, like, I'm still not 100% convinced that I'm gonna get the Nemesis Prime, which is something I never thought I'd say, but it's just so expensive, I'm not really sure, especially because, like, I've been having a lot of financial trouble lately because of work stuff. There we have more of the big convoy. You can see he's got the molded fur, and he even has flappy ears. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to get Nemesis or not at this point. I want him, I just don't know if I $75 want him. They did show off some of the various alt mode weaponizer configurations for Amalgamus. Like you can see here, he's got like a little mini tank and a little mini plane thing here. I will say one thing I'm not liking about Amalgamus is how, like, the tank, I think it was in one of the other, where is it? Is this one? It was this one. See if I can find the picture. Yeah, I don't like how he's sort of like standing on his fingertips with this. I think that looks weird. That's weird to me, but it's whatever. Anyway, so let's see, let's go back. We also have Sure Shot, who is apparently the last of the weaponizers. So cool that we're getting the last out of that group. I'll probably pick this guy up. He looks neat enough. And he does kind of have like a ketchup and mustard paint job, but I don't dislike it. But yeah, he looks good. Got the vehicle mode. We got our blast off for Bruticus. I'm definitely excited for that because I definitely like Bruticus as a whole. And they did apparently do the weird visor eyeball animation error. So that's funny. So Jalopy, a lot of people were speculating that this was going to be a Jazz repaint because of like one comic panel from like the original Marvel comics or something, and I thought that too, but no, it's going to be a re-release of one of the Junkion molds. I believe it was the Axle Grease version. I'm probably going to get this because I'm still missing the leg section to build my Junkosaurus, so I'm probably gonna get 2 of these. And speaking of Junkions, oh, is he not next on the list? Okay, well fine, I guess not. Speaking of Junkions, moving on to Beast Wars, we have Deluxe Quick Strike, which I have no memory of this character, but I definitely like the design, and I know a lot of people have been asking for this one. So I'm glad that, you know, this is finally coming around. Definitely going to pick this one up, if only for the fact that it's a very cool Beast Fusor. Definitely a cool figure. And apparently they will have a blast port in the Cobra tail mouth, so that's cool too. Quintus Prime. This one I'm a little iffy on. I'm almost certainly going to get it though, because I want to collect all the primes. The Space Squid alt mode is kind of whatever. It's sort of hard to tell, but I do believe there are actual legs here under this like translucent skirt piece along with the tentacles. I'm pretty sure that was shown off in the actual like display model. But I do think it's okay. Not exactly a character I really have any concern or interested in either way. I'm just sort of indifferent. But I'll probably get this one just because I want to get those the whole Prime set. So there's that. Moving on to our Voyagers. Here we have Brawl. And in this picture I felt like the tank looks a little stumpy, but I do believe where they showed them off, it was actually a bit longer and more properly proportioned. I am a little curious as to how he's going to work, since it seems that they're following the Devastator sort of method of combining the legs, but they're going to use the regular skeleton method for the arms. So I am curious as to how he's going to hook up and all that, and if there will be a like pivot in his body somewhere. I think because there's like a screw like right here. People are saying that's probably for the ankle pivot for Bruticus. So we'll have to wait and see, but at the very least he looks like a solid figure. I'm definitely going to be picking him up. On to what is probably the most disappointing reveal is the animated Wreck-Gar. And I think that, how should I phrase this? My biggest issue with this is that I was hoping that the Prime figures were going to get the animated treatment, because animated figures were seeming to get a lot more love and dedication. But instead what we got is the animated figures starting to get the Prime treatment, where they are basically just, hey, here's the fitting head sculpt and a body that does not match at all, and we're just going to call it this, even though that is not even remotely what it is. So yeah, I'm really torn on whether or not I want to get this, because it's not necessarily a terrible figure. I do have that mold, because like I said, I'm trying to build the Junkosaurus. But at the same time, that is not animated Wreck-Gar. It's like, yeah, technically it's still a garbage truck, but it is a terrible fit for this character. It is not animated Wreck-Gar. You can't just throw the head on and call it something it's not. You know? If they wanted to, you know, put concept Wreck-Gar on there, I don't think anyone would care. But no, they're listing it as animated, and it's not. So I'm still debating whether or not I want to get this one or not. Like, unlike with the Nemesis Prime, this is like, I don't think it's a good fit for what they're calling it. It's not just overpriced. So I don't know. I really don't know. If I ever see this guy on sale, yeah, I'd pick it up, but I don't know if I'm going to bother trying to get it when it first comes out. So, but yeah, it's just, it doesn't feel like a good fit for Wreck-Gar. Yeah, and we already went over Amalgamus. There's like one of his various modes, and apparently he's gonna have something that like plugs into his eye, his T-Cog. Doesn't look like they're showing that off anywhere here. I don't know. I do like the big scythe gun thingy. Looks cool. So we are getting Razor Claw. I will be picking this guy up. I did have Tigerhawk, right, that's the name, but mine broke due to a mishap, and I haven't really felt like replacing him, but you know, getting this in a color scheme I like better, I think I'll be willing to replace it at that point. So I'll probably pick this guy up. And then we got Big Convoy again. He does have some robot cable sticking out underneath. Oh yeah, he does have an articulated snout trunk, which is cool. There we have the people, the designers. And this is just the CAD model. I believe they said that this is for the box art, not the actual figure itself. Which I could believe, seeing as how he has sort of a backwards ab crunch. And I highly doubt that's going to be on the actual figure. But I'm excited to see the actual Onslaught figure. So there's that. Studio Series, we have our TF1 Arachnid. And I think this one looks pretty neato. She doesn't have any ankle tilt. I remember someone saying something about that. I can't remember who. But I saw someone complaining about that. It's like they had to change her foot design just to give her heels to stand up. Of course, they're not going to put ankle tilt in there. Plus, it does seem like some figures are starting to get their ankle tilt cut for probably budget reasons. So we're probably going to be seeing less of that in the future, which is a bummer. But there's that alt mode. It doesn't really show the alt mode in the best light here because like you can't even see the big propeller in the back, which does spin, which is cool. Last Night Barricade, excited for this one. I think this one looks really interesting. I did like his design in that movie. We do have the licensed car mode, so they're definitely going to focus on making that look good. Does have his like arm blaster things. And it looks like he might come with his brass knuckles, which would be cool. There's the car. There's a painted, or rather a colored colored version of the model. And he does look good. Another mini bot for the collection, and I'm excited for that. Apparently a lot of his car mode is going to fold up into his legs here. I gotta say, does look kind of hollow. I'm not exactly a fan of the big gap here. It's like usually I get like a lot of the gappage like in the arms and stuff is done for like to use less plastic, but like that is just a big old hole there, so I don't know how I feel about that. Car mode looks great though. I do like the way the car mode looks. Yeah, there's that. Here we have TF1 Alpha Trion. He's got his mossiness and the battle damage. I think it's cool that they're doing one that's a little more representative of how he actually looked in the movie, because the Prime Changer one we got was like all clean and stuff. So I'm glad we're getting both versions. They do seem to be really proud of this one, so hopefully it lives up to the hype. He does have his whip tail. Hold on. Sorry about that. Phone was ringing. Here we have that 86 Thundercracker. Again, that mold does look really nice. I am excited to get these new Seekers. Still wondering if I'll ever be able to get my Earthrise Skywarp for that set. So, leader scale. Nemesis Prime, he's going to have new arms, different face sculpt, and a few new accessories, along with a darker paint job. But yeah, that one's pretty much, we know what that is. And then yeah, there's the Grimlock. Apparently that club is pretty big. Let's see, is there anything else here? Oh yeah, we do have some of that gray prototype again. Just a really big guy. Really neato. I hope they have like some sort of flame effect that can maybe plug in here so we can breathe fire. There is that. Are there any more for all that? Yeah, here's where we had some of those prototype reveals. Yeah, like here's Windcharger again. Here's the prototype for Barricade. Here's the Arachnid. You can see she's got the whole big propeller on the back, and apparently it does actually spin. There's the prototype for Alpha Trion again. Again, the Seeker mold, the new Seeker mold. Really excited for that one. There's Megatron over there. Megatron's foot making a cameo. Obviously this one they got the colored thing because they've already released this mold. This is just a repaint. But I do like those darker colors. You can see Retro Sea Spray and Brawn down here at the bottom. I wasn't able to get my pre-orders in for those because Sea Spray sold out in like 5 minutes, which is annoying, but hopefully I'll be able to get them later. And we got Blast Off and Brawl there, Quick Strike, and I already forgot his name. The Weaponizer guy, or Weapon Master. Yeah, see here we got the Wreck-Gar again. Like, I don't mind the face sculpt and stuff, it's just that that's not animated. That's not animated. And more of a blast off. You can see how his eyes are unpainted, but he's got like the visor thing going on here. And he'll have the usual arm split feature. I'm glad that he's like a actual space shuttle, because I've heard apparently in the past he hasn't always been that lucky. Sure Shot, that's his name, Sure Shot. And he does come with Spoil Sport, which is his weapon buddy. Let's see, where is it? Kind of sworn it was showing off here somewhere. But yeah, I'm like sure that it looks like he's got actual like legs under the like translucent skirt bit. It's just not showing very well from this angle. Was there another angle up here? No, I'm not seeing it. And here we do have Optimus with some gray prototype parts for the remolded bits. He does come with his wrist dagger, and again you can see new arms. And he will have the maskless face, and he'll have like the purple. I'm not sure entirely yet if I'll get this one or not, because usually when I get a Nemesis Prime it's black and red, not slightly darker. I don't know, maybe if it goes on sale. Yeah, here's the T-Cog and the Ember Stone for the primes. Yeah, you can see his leg here. That looks like it's going to be all translucent plastic. Not looking forward to that. But yeah, and then we do have a couple more of these parts forming ones from, what is it, Square Enix? Unix Square. There's the Optimus, which I think is coming out soon if it hasn't already. They're making a Starscream and a Grimlock. The Grimlock straight up looks like something out of like Monster Hunter with how weird his head is shaped. Not that I mind, it does look cool. Don't know if I'll pick any of these guys up aside from the Prime. I did pre-order the Prime. And they did have one here of Megatron as well. Interesting that he has a Gatling cannon this time. But yeah, I don't know if I'll get any of these aside from Prime or not, but they are at least interesting looking. And then we do have our Masters of the Universe crossover, which is the characters from Masters of the Universe dressed up as Transformers. It's got Man-at-Arms Bumblebee, who I don't know anything about these characters, but they also have Megatron Skeletor, and I can't lie, that one actually does look pretty interesting. I'm sure they'll do like a Optimus and Starscream set too, because it seems like they're doing Megatron and Bumblebee and then Starscream and Optimus in pairs for a lot of these crossovers, the big four. But I'm probably not going to get these because I'm not really interested in like regular action figures or the He-Man universe, but yeah, they're interesting. And our last little bit of news, we have had a leaked listing for the other commander for next year being Armada Jetfire, which is cool. And it makes me that much more tempted to get that Nemesis Prime, because then, you know, I probably could use the spare trailer from the Optimus I have as his pair of pants, although the colors wouldn't match at all. But at the same time, I'm glad we're finally getting Armada Jetfire. It's been way too long waiting for that one. But yeah, overall, very excited. So yeah, those are my general thoughts and a quick look at a lot of those Comic-Con reveals. There was a lot of news this weekend, so very neat stuff. But yeah, other than that, I think we're all wrapped up here, so I'm going to go ahead and say see you later, and this is Soul Prime 13 saying transform and soul out.